Here now, non-profit organization WaterCan has renewed its call for urgent government intervention following findings that water across all 9 provinces is unsafe. A citizen science study revealed bacterial contamination and sewage pollution in household taps, storage tanks, rivers and dams. The organization has warned that deteriorating wastewater infrastructure is placing public health at risk. WaterCan says some municipalities have dismissed the findings, questioning the credibility of a non-laboratory testing. For more on this, we're now joined by Jonathan Erasmus from WaterCan. Jonathan, a very good afternoon to you, and thank you so much for your time. I mean, this is quite concerning, given the fact that, this is happening across all 9 provinces, particularly when you know that we come from a space where South African water has always been known to be safe to drink, although we've seen some beaches closing down because of contamination. Perhaps let's start with what prompted WaterCan to conduct then this nationwide science study.
Yeah, thank you very much, and thanks for having us on air. So this particular study we do every year. It's an annual study. It's part of our WaterCan National Water Testing Week, which takes place in the month of September and coincides with World Water Monitoring Day on 18 September. So it's a program that we run and have been running, as I said, now in its 4th year. And the purpose of this is twofold. Obviously, it's to get a fully independent, volunteer-driven sample of water sources across the country. And number 2, it's to inculcate a belief in citizen science and understanding what citizen science is, to help empower communities to better understand what's in their water and then use that information proactively in holding authorities to account. So it's really very much an empowerment program that we run to allow specifically kind of vulnerable communities the ability to test water, as it's invariably, the laboratory tests, as we often talk about, are extremely expensive. So we've developed these kits with our scientific partners, and they are robust and they are strong, and their results are 100% factual.
Yeah, and that was going to be my next question, because you do say that some municipalities have dismissed the findings, questioning the credibility of the non-laboratory testing. I mean, how confident then is WaterCan in its reliability of the testing methods used? After answering that, we're going to then engage in terms of just what are the biggest risks that you found.
So yes, I mean, we've developed with an organization called iLab. So it's obviously been rigorously tested. Our executive director, Dr. Ferial Adam, has extensive experience in water management and research, and is well versed in this. So it's really that the testing kits that we developed have gone through extensive testing to make sure they work. I also have personally, and obviously other people in the organization that I belong to, have used them for criminal cases. So for instance, 3 years ago, I used the water testing kits to open up a criminal case in Durban.
Jonathan, are you still with us? All right, we seem to have lost Jonathan Erasmus there from WaterCan, but essentially speaking about the recent report that was conducted by WaterCan, of course, WaterCan being a non-profit organization. Jonathan, you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
All right, Jonathan, we lost you a bit there, but let's then delve into just some of the biggest risks communities are facing given the study. I mean, some of the testing has revealed bacterial contamination, sewage pollution in household taps.
Yes, so we found in a number of our samples in the taps, we found coliform, which is a type of bacteria, which should not be present in any drinking water whatsoever. And that's a huge concern. We have raised it with some of the municipalities concerned, and it is something that we see on a recurring instance. For instance, even something that was outside of our testing window, which was Talbach in the Western Cape, Witzenberg municipality, we had negative findings there as well, bacterial in taps. So this is something that keeps on recurring. And I think what we're seeing is a pattern of breakdown in infrastructure. And this goes beyond just what comes out of our taps, but it is what's also in our river and our kind of natural river water sources where we get our drinking water from. Those are highly polluted as well. So we have, in general, a water crisis in this country, from what we drink to how we handle our waste and sanitation.
And what happens, in terms of public health if these issues are not addressed and addressed urgently? Because quite simply, not everyone can afford to buy water in this country.
Yeah, it's a massive issue. So when we do find negative findings, we often implore on those municipalities to issue boil notices. There's obviously quite a lot of a body of work that you boil the water, you can boil the bacteria out, you can put a little bit of you can obviously clean the water a little bit as well and then use it. But generally, it's a real problem. And what we obviously always ask municipalities do in incidents like this is to put out water tankers. Water tankers is not a permanent solution, though. We don't believe in that being a permanent solution to our crisis, but it's certainly a temporary stopgap that can allow people to drink and obviously remain healthy and to avoid any kind of illnesses that take place. The issue of bacteria in water is really serious, and people really do get ill. There's vomiting, there's diarrhea. It's hugely impactful on the immune system, and specifically for vulnerable people, it puts them at huge risk of possible even death if they are seriously infected by any kind of bacteria from drinking water.
Yeah, and I mean, we've seen a number of cases, even in Gauteng, when you look at places like Hammanskraal, where a lot of people have actually gotten sick, and they have indicated that it is because of the drinking water that is just not, suitable to drink. What do you think is behind just this almost lackluster approach, to dealing with this?
It's certainly got a lot to do with no one taking responsibility for what is happening. We've got obviously our infrastructure around the country is under huge strain, and there's various reasons for it. There's obviously a lot of underspending. There is corruption. There's also some of it's really old. We can't step away from the fact that some of it's old, but there's a lack of accountability in wanting to deal with it. And this is a basic human right, and it's also basic service delivery. So when municipalities fail in their duty of service delivery, water is one of those things that fall apart. Until there is serious action taken against municipal leaders, both in the administration and in the political side of it, councillors and the like, this kind of situation is never really going to be resolved. There needs to be serious consequence for anyone in a position of power for not dealing with the water crisis. I think that's where it starts. That's where and what we're doing at WaterCan is what we're saying is, okay, we understand that is what needs to be done. But the best way of getting there is to educate the public at large, to show them how to test, to educate them about what is dangerous, what is not, and allow more voices to put greater pressure on authorities to fix this water crisis that we're facing.
Yeah, and quite interestingly, we'll also be speaking to the Department of Health just in terms of, the surge of their hospitals in terms of the festive season, how busy that will get. But thank you, Jonathan, for your time. That's where we leave it for this afternoon, but really appreciate your time.